Okay, here we go. Unboxing of the Factory 5 Cobra Mark IV Roadster base kit. This is video number 2, so if you haven't watched the first video, you might want to go back and do that, where I kind of explain picking base kit over complete kit and stuff like that. So this is unboxing the boxes and doing the inventory, which, if you look at the paperwork that they send you, they actually recommend it. On page 2, they tell you to, within 45 days, go over the inventory in the boxes, because you have to let them know if any parts are missing. Also, they claim that the parts with no status next to them did not come in the boxes, and they will be coming separately. So you're not going to get everything at one time, unfortunately. But I'm going to go over every single part and make sure that everything's there in the boxes. So I don't know if I'll do full-on recording of the whole thing, because that's going to take a very long time, but I'll try to go over it individually, box by box. So this is the introduction to unboxing, and we're going to start with box 1. So the first couple pages of the order list is, I believe, a full inventory of what came. So out of the 16 boxes, this is everything that has come. And then they give you quantities of each thing. So I'm going to set this aside. And this is I think the person needs to learn how to spell box, B-O-X. This is box 1A. So 1A here, they write all the numbers on there. So this is box 1A. So let's open up box 1A. So, what's here? I'll take it off the table. You can see there, it says box 1A, leather wrap steering wheel. Alright? Not leather wrap steering wheel. This looks like shocks. Unless, okay. Alright. So there you go. It's going to have, as you can see in there, it's not just the steering wheel in box 1A. That's box 1A. And I'm guessing, here. Okay, so we're learning here, we're learning. But in box 1A, the steering wheel is there. And this is actually was like kind of looking forward to the steering wheel. I was glad it was the first thing. If you are a driver, you understand kind of. And there's the steering wheel there. So that is in box 1A. Yeah, if you're a driver, you get steering wheels. Factory 5 Racing on the back there. Alright. So there's that. is going to be quite a time-consuming process. So that is here. My pen. So we also have, they might want us to do some passing these out, because I don't know why they would give you so many. But we got a Factory 5 Racing 2021 models here. And then the Factory 5 Mark IV Roadster base kit assembly manual, which is quite thick. I might do this differently. Let's see. It's quite confusing. It's confusing. So what? Just so that in the order that the pages are in this inventory, it makes it look like that's the only thing in box 1A, but clearly not the only thing in box 1A. They also don't really identify, is this box 1A as well? Because Kone shock, half-inch washer, trunk seal. Let's see, 11073. 12451. So these are 11073. 11023. We're figuring this out here. Is that a 7? Let's see, we got 14676. 14. That's not going to be there. 14. Isn't this so exciting? Here you go. Okay. Sorry about, okay. We're learning here, we're learning. Box 1A, primary chassis components. Now this should be everything. See? So, okay. This is how I'm thinking this is. These 2 pages here, these first 2 pages, are everything that came on the chassis and body. Because if you look in here, you'll see there's parts already installed, which I believe they're not really installed. They're just kind of fastened in place so that that's how they transport them, right? It's easier to transport them. So I think this here, because you can see, yeah, body components, they're all here. So this is for the chassis, body, and you come down here. Now, it probably would have been easier for them to do is this should be page 2 of box 1A, primary chassis components. Okay, so here we go. We got base kit assembly manual. We got, well, we shouldn't have, oh, yes, IFS components. 87 to 04 spindle adapter kit was just 13819. 13819. Okay, now we're gonna go back here. They use Mevotech. I use Mevotech. So 15,501. Okay, so you get the basic idea of the inventory. You go down the list, check everything off. I'm not going to go over that part, but this is box 1. So box 1, front suspension, steering, that stuff. This is how it all comes so that you can see it. I'll do a similar, I'll cut back in with box 2, blah, 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 blah. All right, so here's another thing to know. See this 11074 here, 11074, that's explaining that that is all the IFS components. Now, in this bag is a mix of bolts and nuts, which you can see here are all these different other pieces here. So these 4 flange bolts are 15138. So if you really wanted to, as you're inventorying it, get very detailed, you could take and start separating these, because I would imagine that in that manual it's going to refer to, it might refer to the bag of parts and then individually. So I'm going to leave it as it is for now, but I'm going to make a note in this video that if down the road, if say they reference the bolt without that bag, I want to make sure that these bolts are separated by part number on the inventory list, not by part number of the group of components, which is what this bag part number is. It's the group of components, not the actual individual parts themselves. So like, I'm guessing, let's see, let's try this out here. 11071. Steering wheel hardware, right? Okay, so that's 11071 steering wheel hardware. I think maybe this, see, and then they don't put a label on that. So I'm guessing that that is aluminum center section 14657, which, because that's the bolt pattern of the steering wheel, that's the bolts for those. They don't put it on there. So if you want to make it easier for as you're going along, that might be the way to do it. I'm gonna leave everything in the boxes as it came, because I'm imagining that that is how they're going to reference everything as you're building it, but we will see. So there you go. All right, so okay, I've pretty much inventoried all of box 1A. There's some stuff you can see here that they put in separate boxes, but pretty much they mark the group of parts. You can 14676 there. It's all the Coney, and then you got to go through and figure out what's what. But as long as you keep it in this bag, you shouldn't have a problem. If you do though want to go through and individually separate things and mark them by their part numbers, this is the time to do it, because you're already looking at the numbers anyway. But you could easily probably keep them with the groups of parts by the number, and that should be fine too. So now we'll move on to box 2A. All right, moving on to box 2. We're gonna open box 2. Box 2 is electrical stuff. I kind of like how they have, they put all the connectors you need in separate little bags. That's nice. That's gonna save me some time. Switches, not the best switches. I could personally get better switches than those at some off-road places, but you know, we'll see. I'm going to build this one how they intend to be built, and then I'm going to make improvements to it. But, alright, let's see. So yeah, we got Roadster secondary body fasteners, battery mounting kit, fuel strap fasteners, pedal box hardware, miscellaneous electrical components, and wiring harness mounting, dash electrical components, Aston Le Mans cap components, which I'm guessing is that, fueling components. Oh no, the Aston Le Mans cap. Okay, so here you go. This is a 0 next to it, means it's coming later. So this is the first box with zeros. I don't think box 1 had any zeros. It does have, so box 1 had stuff it said was in a different box, like this stuff, which I'm going to go through and double check. But then, so which is also in this stuff here. But then this one also has zeros. So the 0 means it did not come in the first part and will be coming later, that they will ship. So there you go. That's box 2. All right, we're on to box 3. Box 3 is body finish components. Seat belts. Ooh, hood scoop. Nice a hood scoop there. Yeah, hood scoop. Let's look at the hood scoop. I think you guys want to see the hood scoop, huh? Yeah, that's kind of nice. You got a dream. You got a dream. So yeah, box 3, all that stuff there. And little boxes of stuff. Badges. Headlights. Alright, so yeah, that's box 3. Alright. Now I don't know about you, but one of the things that is, to me, iconic about Cobras, and that I hate anything else other than the way that you should do it, but the quick jack. The quick jack. Oh yeah. I love the quick jack. Only because if you work on cars and you know that it's like cumbersome to lift a car up, and like when you watch Formula 1 and they just put the jack under the wing and they lift it up, and then you think like, man, I wish I had that on every car that I had, or truck. The Cobra, that's one of my favorite things. I hate the little bumperettes and the dumb, no, quick jack. You can tell every guy who builds a Cobra that doesn't work on it puts the stupid bumpers. Every guy who works on it puts quick jacks. If you don't put quick jacks in your Cobra, just go build a different car. Box 4A, ancillary components. These are ancillary components, apparently. What is it? Air filter on there? Okay. Yeah, there you go. Box 4A. We're on to box 5. just a note. Box 4 seems to be missing its conical air filter. Let's see. All right. Computers have made it so easy. Now I'm imagining you set this in there and it just fits perfect. That's what I'm imagining. And everything is exactly where it needs to be. It's my imagination. That is nice. You know? One thing that I have noticed is every aluminum piece is going to need to be finished, like brushed. This is brake lines. Fuel line. Pretty. I'm going to go through all of that, but tube and dash. All right, now on to 6A Mark IV packaged aluminum, or as the British say, aluminium. This is kind of a British car. British design, body. Yeah. So this is just aluminum pieces. Little brackets and whatnot. A lot of the aluminum pieces are already in the car, as you can see in there. So I think, well, yeah, we'll go through all that. But this is like cockpit, engine bay, trunk packaged. Yeah, so we'll go through it all. So one thing I just noticed is the numbers are written on them, corresponding with the number there. So 10814, 10814 aluminum side loader. So makes it easier, and you can also see their number. So I thought I was gonna have to figure that all out on my own. I think you gotta see how kind of cool all the little plates. Now, I personally have made aluminum block-off plates like all these. So, and the way I would do it in the past was make a template, and then trace it on aluminum and cut it out. To think that like it's already been done, and I just have to get to that point and find it and put. It's gonna save a lot of time, I think. I kind of did this. I've done harder ones in the past, and so this to me seems like it's gonna be pretty easy. So box 7 is a big. We don't have box 7, so there's actually like 17 or 18 boxes instead of just 15, 16 that you're gonna get. Yeah, so you can see there, 0, nothing in box 7. So moving on to box 8. All right. box 8 is supposed to be Windshield. So we'll see. There you can see it. Oh, windshield. Kind of cool. Don't have to get glass. Just so let's see. Chrome on brass. Yeah, so I'm not gonna take it out because it should stay in there until it's ready. That's it there. Box 8A. Box 9A is black vinyl seats. So when you go to order your kit, it will ask you if you want the standard seat, which is the black vinyl seat, or do you want the upgraded seat. We've decided to go standard because we are going to source our own optional seat ourselves. I'm in Southern California and there's more than enough seat manufacturers out here. If you're in something like, also because the seat manufacturers are so close to me, I want to go sit in them. I want to go see how they are before I decide on a final seat. Now, if you're in like Nebraska or somewhere in the middle of nowhere and you're building this car, you might not have the same access. So, you know, you might want to think about that. Just, you know, something to think. Let me show you. All right. Street, big, tall seat. I don't know if I'm gonna open these up all the way. Oh, I see how it's in here. I wish you guys could smell. Actually, I don't know. It smells pretty good. Oh yeah. Not bad. Not a bad seat. I mean, it's not the most padding, but for a basic seat, you know, we'll see. We will see. So yeah, that's pair of 2. And you can see there are 2. Alright. We're in box 10A, which is left-hand Mark IV roll bar, satin powder. So this is the, if you know about Cobras, which you probably do, if you're watching this and you're about to build one, or thinking about it, normally they came with the one side over the driver roll bar, because you know, in racing, that's where the race car driver is, and there's no passenger, so why do you need a full, I guess the thought was back in the day, why do you need a full roll cage? We're going, Factory 5 gives you the option for 2. We decided to go 2, and we decided to get them black. You can get them chrome as well, but we decided to go black. So box A is the left-hand one, which is that one, and I'm guessing. I don't see right hand in here. Should be, because we ordered it. Ah, right hand. Box 14 is right hand. So you know. There you go. Bars. Somebody left a Kit Kat wrapper in here. The guy who boxed this up left a Kit Kat wrapper in here. Man, that's actually kind of odd, no? People, man, humans. I gotta take a picture of that. I'm sorry. That must have a picture. That's funny. Yeah, so there you go. All the pieces. That's the main hoop. And I'm guessing this is the bar that goes kind of piece onto that. I'm interested to see how they have you attach this, because it have to be welded, or maybe it just slips on. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, there you go. That's it for box 10. All right, now we're on box 11A, which is solid axle adapters hardware. So another option, you can, I think standard is 4-link solid axle. So essentially you're taking the rear axle out of the donor, or acquiring an 8/8-inch forward rear axle yourself. And then the 4-link is the basic way to install it into and attach it to the chassis of the kit car. And then there's a 3-link, which I think is an upgrade. And then the ultimate of upgrades for the rear axle is an independent rear suspension. So eventually that's what I want to do. But I think the first 3 in this series will be standard 4-link 8/8. So let's open box 11. Oh, that, circling back, 11 is the hardware and components that allow you to install it, into the rear. So probably mostly bracketry. So let's looks like a spring perch. Rear spring perch kit. Label them. No. No label. So that's either a left hand or a right hand spring perch. This feels like the other one. Bolt kit. Rear axle straps. So limiting straps. That's interesting. Yeah, so there's that. Box 11A. And box 12. Another 0. And this is catalytic converters for the 96 to 04. So that's another option. You can option for the exhaust for catalytic converters. We're in California. So that's the way I went. Figure I can always eliminate them later. But yeah, another 0. Box 13. Roadster side exhaust uncoated. So they will have to be ceramic coated. Yep, another signifying thing with Cobras is side packs. So there you go. Babies. Oh yeah. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, so that's box 13. Side pipe. 4-to-1. Yeah. I wonder what the mufflers look like. Can't really see. Cool. Alright, box 14. Right hand Mark IV. Powder coated roll bar. You guys already saw the other one, so yeah, I'm just marking it. Box 15. Weatherproof battery disconnect, another option. I thought this is a pretty good one. My experience with cars like this, you want to disconnect the electrical in between use for a couple reasons. One being cars like this don't normally get used as much, so it keeps from draining the battery. The other thing is for fire, you know. To cut off the electrical, say a short happens to happen, this will keep that from creating fire. So box, so there's multiple box 15s. Yes, multiple. So looks like there's about 6 pages here. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Oh, let's open it up. So, looks like they use Ron Francis wiring. Here's all the other components. Stuff. Oh wow, lots of stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah. So there's that. Pretty much a miscellaneous box. It's a bunch of different stuff. So that means I only have 3 boxes left after this one. So few hours to go through everything. So yeah. Yep. So all right. So one of the options that you can select at the end is the electrical system completion components, ESCC. And so I wanted to show you, this is one of the bags, but I wanted so that you know what it looks like, because I'm sure the electrical part of this is probably daunting, because you're wiring a whole entire car, and if you've never wired a whole entire car before or understand wiring, it can be tricky. So if you've never done it, I would definitely get this. And I've wired cars and bikes before, and it's still, you know, to complete everything. So this is nice because this is like a whole book of how to do it, which, like, with pictures and, you know, yeah, you're gonna want that. And then so you can see there's fuse block, and then all of the different wiring. This is like the main wiring harness to the whole entire car. So if you don't get this and you're gonna somehow do it on your own, you know, get this. This will make everything easier. It's already figured out. So just wanted to show you that, so that in case you're questioning whether you should get it or not, you should get it. All right, something, just like thought about this as I'm unboxing this stuff. If you've never built a car and you haven't worked on that many cars, and especially if you haven't had to source many pieces of hardware like fasteners, you should become familiar with fasteners. I don't know, you could probably get books on fasteners. I don't know, I learned over time. But so, like, say, look here, one of these things in box 15 is all bolt 7/16 lock nut, washer, lock nut, nylon, and then bolt. So just give you a quick run through. Bolt 7/16 14. So if you see here, it says 7/16 14 by 125 by 1.25 inches. 7/16 is the size of the diameter of where the threads are. Dash 14 is 14 threads per inch. So the higher the number, the finer the thread. So, like you see here, dash 8 5/16, dash 18 5/16, dash 14. Obviously this is going to be finer thread, right? So when you look at it, you know, also 5/16 smaller than 7/16. That's another thing to become familiar with. Your imperial or standard sizes. What comes before what? How are they measured? This is a 5/16 bolt, dash 18 threads per inch. You can count them by 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches is measured from the bottom of this bolt head to the end of the bolt. Lock nut, nylon, has a nylon insert in there that you can see. There is also, you're going to see on here where it says mechanical, not on here. Some of them will say, like it says here, lock nut nylon. Some of them will say lock nut mechanical, when you look at it, mechanical lock nut is not going to be a perfect circle. It's going to be kind of an oval. That's a mechanical locking nut. Where you're gonna see those is on high heat stuff like the exhaust. They had some mechanical lock nuts in there. The reason being is you don't have them on nylon lock nuts for exhaust because the nylon will melt. Washers, 1/2 inch SAE, Society of Automotive Engineers. That's just the standard size for automotive type applications. Then down here where you see bolt M8 25 millimeter, M8 that's a metric bolt. 25 millimeter is the same thing. It's this measurement, that 1.25 inch, same thing from the bottom of the head to the end of the threads. That's that 25 millimeter. So you're going to measure that a little bit differently, but just so you know, when you're going through and you're looking at this stuff and you're trying to figure out if you have everything, it's going to pay for you to become familiar with it. So that way when you're going through the inventory, you can tell what it is. A lot of the brake line stuff, you're going to see in millimeters. So become familiar with that stuff. You know, brake line metric adapter, 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter. Become familiar with those things. Yeah, that's about it. Also, become familiar with your grades. There's places online you can go to look up grades. So there's low grade bolts, you know, to higher grade bolts. How are they determined? Grade 8 is usually, for automotive applications, some of the highest grade bolts you're going to see. This is not a grade 8 bolt. You can tell by the indentations or the markings on the head of the bolt. These are zinc coated, that's why they're yellow. I don't have any grade 8 stuff here. These are metric bolts. They have 8/8 on it. That's the grade. If you see 8/8 or 10/8 on the head of a metric bolt, that's its grading. It's not the same. 8/8 is not the highest grade when it comes to metric bolts. You should become familiar with all this stuff. Know your fasteners. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. All right, so one of the last boxes is box number 16. Another optional thing, heater defroster. Yeah, we just decided to do this because we felt that it would be the way to go for comfort. So that's why we did it. Open it all the way. Very weird. All right, that's box 16 there. All the stuff. Looks complicated. Almost regretting choosing that. Because now I have to put it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Alright. So now for box 17. Box 17 is like all the, which this is what I'm imagining has happened, since the zeros mean but they didn't have it. Probably what happened was they got this, they didn't have it at first, and then they got this stuff. And so they threw it in a spare box at the end. And so that's what box 17 is. So, and this is the last box that I had after the initial delivery. This is it. This is all that stuff here. This is like all miscellaneous stuff. So you just have to go down in each page and see all your box 17 stuff. So, a little inconvenience, but whatever. We'll figure it out. So yeah, that's that.